Hello there, my name is James Harrington. If Spanish football is for you, then this is the place to be. With it being the international break and therefore no La Liga match to preview, I thought we need to talk about something else. And there really is only one thing we can talk about, and that is the summer transfer window. Now, I feel this transfer window is probably more marked by its departures than its arrivals, with the likes of La Liga stalwarts Messi and Ramos both going to PSG. But that doesn't mean there aren't signings we can get excited about. Now, in no particular order, let's start with David Alaba. David Alaba left German giants Bayern Munich for Real Madrid, a club that he'd been at since 2008 and incredibly successful, winning 10 Bundesliga, 2 Champions League and 6 German Cups. He was one of the early deals of the window, completed back in May, rumoured to be on a 5-year deal worth $10.5 million a year. Now, some fans might understand what I'm about to say. As a football fan, sometimes you have an inexplicable fondness for a player, and for me, it's always been David Alaba, someone who I think is an incredibly skillful defender and at times possibly underrated, not given the recognition he deserves. So on a personal level, I'm really excited to see him in the Spanish top division. Real Madrid fans will be hoping that he fills the void left by Ramos and Varane, not just in terms of his defensive abilities, but also in terms of leadership and experience. What we saw towards the end of his time at Bayern Munich, he was shifted from left back to centre back, and what that offered the Bundesliga outfit was someone who was more mobile alongside Jerome Boateng, someone who could play as a ball playing centre back because he's an excellent passer of the ball and therefore breaking in between the opposition lines. And as well, whilst he may not be the tallest, standing at 5'11", when they did lose possession, due to his pace and acceleration, he could quickly recover the ball. The Austrian, we've already seen, has been shifting between left back and centre back for Real Madrid this season, so he offers a great deal of versatility. And for being a free agent, I think this is a phenomenal deal for Los Blancos. Next player to talk about, Memphis Depay. Now, on this channel and basically across all media outlets, it's well documented the financial struggles of Barcelona. Therefore, they've had to rely on a number of free agents. And arguably, Memphis Depay is the pick of the bunch. Now, we've already seen the impact he's had at the Camp Nou, getting the leveller versus Athletic Club, the winner against Getafe. And Sid Lowe in the Spanish Football Podcast made a really interesting point. And this is not in a bad way at all. What Depay has, he has arrogance, meaning he doesn't care who was at the club before him, who's at the club now. He's just there to do his business. It's been well documented as well in the past, his struggles at Manchester United, and then he really came into his element at Lyon in Ligue 1, where he netted 63 times in 139 games, arguably to become their most important player. Depay is part of this now Dutch contingent at the Camp Nou, from both dugout to the starting 11. And what pundits and commentators are saying, and I don't want to get ahead of myself here when I say this, is hopefully with his initial good form and positive future prospects, this softens the blow after Messi's departure. Next, we talk about Rafa Mir, who's left Wolverhampton Wanderers for Sevilla. Last season, Rafa Mir was on loan at Huesca, where he got 16 goals. I always spoke about Rafa Mir in the highest of regard. I said if there was any chance for Huesca to stay up, it would be all down to Rafa Mir. Unfortunately, he did get relegated, but Mir took his good form in La Liga to the Olympics, helping Spain secure a silver at Tokyo. It was rumoured that Rafa Mir was on course to join Atletico Madrid, but Sevilla hijacked the deal at the last minute. I had thought with a new manager coming in at Wolverhampton Wanderers, they would have stayed and hopefully made a breakthrough in the Premier League. But instead, he said he wanted a new challenge and therefore has moved to the Andalusian outfit. At £13 million, I think this is a really good deal done by Monchi. Hopefully for Julian Lopetegui, he has the quality up top now where they can seriously mount a challenge for that La Liga crown. The next player to talk about is Javi Galan, who's left Huesca for Celta Vigo. Now, Javi Galan is someone I've spoken about extensively on this channel before. He featured in my La Liga team this season for the 2020-2021 campaign, and he's someone I spoke about in my season preview video where I talked about the teams that have finished in the top 7. Hopefully Celta Vigo are one of them, and I think he'll be key in their charge for Europe. So I don't want to repeat too much of what I said before, but the one stat that gets thrown around a lot of the time about how great a season Galan had last time out was the fact that he completed 121 dribbles, the second most in La Liga, only behind Lionel Messi. Celta Vigo triggered his release clause, beating the likes of Leeds United to his signature, which was a meagre amount considering the modern market. I truly believe that Galan complements exceptionally well Caldet's ultra-attacking footballing philosophy. Therefore, I think this signing is a real snip for the Galicians. The next player to get really excited about is Rodrigo Depay, who's left Udinese for Atletico Madrid at 27 years old. This signing is a real statement of intent from Diego Simeone, looking to build upon their success last season winning La Liga. Depay is someone who can score goals, but is also good at providing them, being involved in 19 goal-scoring contributions last season. He's someone who's got 25 goals over the last 3 seasons, with 5 of them being penalties. Other stats that just show what a talented acquisition this is by Los Rojiblancos is his ability to carry the ball, nearly completing 8,000 yards of progressive distance carries, second best in Serie A, and as well as completing 120 passes into the final third. This signing only strengthens what is already a phenomenally strong side of Atletico Madrid, and arguably they have one of the strongest sides in La Liga. The next player to talk about is Arnaud Danjuma, who signed from Bournemouth to Villarreal. Now this was a big money signing by Unai Emery, with Villarreal being one of the big spenders this summer. The 24-year-old did play for Bournemouth in their season when they got relegated from the Premier League, but only used sparingly due to injuries. It wasn't until he was in the Championship where he became pivotal to them as part of their promotion playoff push, eventually getting knocked in the semi-finals to Brentford. A right-footed winger who primarily operates on the left flank, ergo making him an inverted winger, was so crucial for the Cherries last season, with 15 goals and 7 assists. This is of course a massive step up joining Villarreal because they're playing Champions League football this season. However, it really is a major signing for Villarreal because they beat a number of high-profile suitors to his signature, and clearly shows from Unai Emery a focus on improving his attacking department, along with the signing of Dia from Liga. The next player to talk about is Takefusa Kubo, the 20-year-old who signed on loan from Real Madrid to Real Mallorca. Now this might seem a bit of a left field player to talk about considering the big money signings I've spoken about so far in this video, but this is someone who I really do hope can hit the heights that we all know he can do this season at Mallorca. Now he's come off the back of the Olympics where he helped Japan finish 4th, but last season he did have some difficult loan spells. The first half of the season he was at Villarreal where he didn't really make much of an impact by way of appearances at the Ceramica, and then he joined Getafe for the second half of the season, but he didn't really fit Bordalas' style of play. Still only 20 years old, he had the choice this summer of either playing for Real Sociedad or Real Mallorca, opting for the latter due to, I imagine, assurances of game time, but also the fact that he's been there before. Yes, in the 2019-2020 season, that was his first loan spell at Mallorca, where he got 4 goals in 36 appearances. It said he has a real big affinity with both the fans and the club. No permanent clause has been inserted in this deal for Real Mallorca, so clearly he's going back to the capital after this season, and let's just hope he can showcase his talent this time around. I must add that I did watch him in the game against Espanyol and he looked really lively, so fingers crossed it'll be a good season for Kubo. Next, we talk about a deal that was spoken about in quiet whispers throughout the summer, then suddenly came to life on deadline day, and that was Antoine Griezmann's return to Atletico Madrid from Barcelona. Was Saul's departure that freed up their ability to re-sign the Frenchman, a player who had been at the club between 2014 and 2019. until 2 years ago he moved to the Camp Nou in a deal worth £108 million. But it hasn't quite worked out for him since joining Barcelona. Yes, he's got a Copa del Rey to his name, and yes, he scored 35 goals in 102 appearances, but it's felt he hasn't fully delivered the goods. This move represents that even after losing their club icon Messi, there's still a number of savings that has to be made, with Griezmann being the 11th departure this summer from Barcelona. That has enabled Barcelona to get a player worth £345,000 per week off their wage bill. The deal is initially a loan with an option to buy approximately around £34 million, representing a £73 million loss to the Catalan giants. Simeone did want a new striker this summer and he signed Matheus Cunha from Hertha Berlin. However, for me, this deal represents something even more. It has parallels with what happened to Barcelona last summer, where they allowed Luis Suarez to leave for Atletico Madrid, effectively handing them the title, and they've done the same again. To replace Griezmann, they've signed Luuk de Jong from Sevilla on loan. He is their third choice striker at Sevilla, a player that has only scored 10 goals in the past 2 seasons. The Sky Sports News pundits last night made the point that this summer Barcelona have gone from a front line of Messi, Griezmann, Depay to Depay, Braithwaite and de Jong. Obviously, it's not that bad, and you take it with a pinch of salt because they have Ansu Fati returning and Sergio Aguero if he stays fit, but it clearly is a step down in quality. Now, the final player I want to talk about is a deadline day signing, and that's Eduardo Camavinga, who's left Rennes for Real Madrid. Now, if I'm being honest, he's a player I didn't know a phenomenal amount about, considering he plays in Liga. But there was a truly insightful article done by Total Football Analysis, so do go check it out. And it became clear to me then why Real Madrid wanted to sign this player and why he's arguably one of the hottest prospects in Europe. The traits of the 18-year-old, he is a box-to-box midfielder who is a strong tackler of the ball, 7th in Liga, someone who has great ball retention abilities, meaning that it alleviates pressure for his teammates, but also enables him to dribble through the midfield. Good vision, someone who has strong decision making, especially in and around the final third, and as well has good off-the-ball movements, creating space for teammates to exploit. Camavinga has had no clause inserted into the deal. That means he gets loaned straight back to Rennes. So he clearly has a part to play this season for Ancelotti, and is probably part of his plans to phase in a new generation of talent as a consequence of Real Madrid's ageing midfield. That's it for this video. Those are the most exciting signings made by La Liga clubs this summer. If you did enjoy the video, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.